Good afternoon. I'm glad to call this meeting to order. We'll have a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance led by Ms. Owen.
Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Owen. Okay, let's see. We have several announcements, and I would like to welcome my fellow board members and KCS staff. It's great to see everybody and hear from people today. And thanks to all those who are watching from home. I know I speak on behalf of the entire board when I say how much we appreciate our community and how well everyone is working together to support our students during this difficult time. Tremendous efforts are being made to meet the physical needs of our students through programs like our food distribution plan, and as of this past Monday, offering academic supports through the KCS at Home program. So thank you to everyone who is working so diligently to make sure those things happen. If you need information about KCS at Home, all the information can be found on the Knox County Schools website at knoxschools.org/KCS at Home. To summarize it briefly for our families who do not have internet access or a device at home, paper packets are available by grade band for pre-K, for K through 2nd, 3rd through 5th, and 6th through 8, as well as for student supports. The paper packets may be picked up at one of our meal distribution sites from 10 a.m. until noon on Mondays and Wednesdays. Due to the complexity of student schedules, resources, and support for high school students is being provided online only. As we have heard over and over, we have never experienced anything like this pandemic before. And at times it seems like the decisions that are being made are being made very slowly. But please know that our KCS administrative staff has been working diligently with local and state authorities to make sure that we are following all the state and federal guidelines that have been put in place. Our State Board of Education is meeting tomorrow afternoon, April 9th, to address student attendance, grades, and credits, as well as things directly affecting our educators. We look forward to sharing more information as we receive guidance following that meeting. It may take a couple of days to get that guidance out, but we will have more information after that meeting. I also just wanted to take a minute to commend Superintendent Thomas and his staff for their leadership. Hopefully you were able to watch the community meeting that was hosted yesterday when they answered several key questions that were submitted by the public. I think they touched on most all the questions that I had heard. If you did not get a chance to see that meeting live, the video and list of questions and answers are available on the KCS website, and a link is available directly from the homepage. And now I'd like to ask Mr. Superintendent Thomas if you'd like to say a few words.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Just a few remarks here, and I'll be brief. But first of all, I'd like to thank everyone who's gone the extra mile to serve our students and families during this difficult time. Our nutrition workers, teachers, security officers, principals, and many others have done outstanding work to provide meals and educational resources during the ongoing health emergency, and I'm very proud of their work. I think we're up over 200,000 meals after today. As you know, our schools are currently closed through April 24th at the request of Governor Bill Lee. I know this closure has prompted many questions from our families. I wanted to remind everyone that we held a virtual community meeting on April the 6th. That meeting is available on our website, and I would encourage anyone with questions to watch it. Also wanted to remind everyone that our KCS at Home program launched this week and is providing remote learning materials for students. The program is volunteer, and completion of the work does not affect a student's grade. Grade-specific packets and matching videos are available at knoxschools.org/KCS@home. In addition, this site provides supports for students with IEPs and 504s. We are also providing free breakfast and lunch meals for any child aged 18 and under. The meals are available from 10 a.m. to noon at 28 locations, and you can find all the details on our website. Finally, I'd like to wish everyone a very happy weekend, holiday weekend. I know these aren't the circumstances that any of us would have chosen, but we still have so much to be thankful for. Please stay safe, and thank you once again to the Knox County community for all your support during this difficult time. Madam Chair, that concludes my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. Before we approve our meeting agenda, I wanted to acknowledge that this electronic meeting format has presented some challenges, especially with regard to our traditional public forum opportunity for the community. So in an effort to offer the public a way to submit comments and questions prior to our meetings, we have set up an email address, and all messages received will be forwarded to all the board members. The email address is boardcomments@knoxschools.org. boardcomments@knoxschools.org. And this was also shared in the public notice for this meeting. So far, we have not received any messages in that inbox, but if anything is received, it will be forwarded to all board members. And we will continue to utilize that email address going forward for future meetings. Also, as you know, we made the decision to cancel our work session that was scheduled for last Wednesday and combine our discussion of the agenda tonight for this meeting. So we will go through the agenda for discussion first, and then I'll ask Ms. Coatney to read the items for voting purposes following our agenda, following our review. We will take a show of hands to vote on approval of the agenda and the consent items. And then we'll take a roll call vote on each of the items in policies, grants, and contracts. So that will be a little bit tedious, but we're trying to make sure that we follow the guidelines we've been given. So, so bear with us. So with that, do we have any requested changes to this meeting agenda? Okay, do we have a motion for approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Norman, a second by Ms. Babb. All in favor, show of hands. Aye. Okay. Motion carries. Now we will go to the discussion of our agenda. Let me just find that. Okay. Do we have any discussion or any questions on the first contract? Okay, let me see. I'm trying to position this so I can see you guys. Okay. Okay, anything on the contract 2? I'm sorry, the consent, on the consent agenda, item 2 or 3? Okay, anything on 4 or 5? Okay, Ms. Babb?
Yeah, I just want for public, because this one is about paying for a trip, and I know with all the current stuff going on, I think I'd gotten clarification about this, that we are just approving that they have the ability to go on this trip. We're not making payments at this point, and I just want to make sure that's correct.
Dr. Reiswick or Mr. Trent, would you like to comment on that?
I guess, John, do you want me to take that?
Sure, go ahead, Dan.
Virginia, I couldn't hear some of that. Would you come back to me, please, on the question?
Sure. I just want to make clear for everyone, because this one's about paying for a trip, and just with the current what all's going on with canceled trips and stuff, I just want people to know that this is actually just us approving that they have the ability to go on the trip, that we're not actually going ahead and paying for this trip at this point. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right, thank you. Okay, moving on to item 6 or 7. Okay, we'll move to board policies. Any questions on J110? Ms. Satterfield, did you have a question?
No, I'm looking at it on my phone.
Oh,
That's fine.
okay. I'm sorry. I think you were frozen for a second. So, okay. Okay. Any questions on D 110? Yes, Virginia?
Yes, just on this one, do we have any type of timeline at all on the budget at this point?
We,
Go ahead.
I was just going to jump in. Ron can also jump in on this too, but I think Ron McPherson's been in contact with Chris Caldwell, and I believe on our May agenda, the expectation is we would have our budget on the May agenda, and we should be receiving our first BEP estimate sometime here in the next few days as well. So the
Right.
May board agenda. And Ron, if I left out anything, jump in.
No, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Dupler, if I could ask a question on this one, since we are voting to, we would be voting to approve the suspension of this, that is just a temporary suspension. Can you just kind of review what that means for the board?
So that's true. It's just for this year. It's just a temporary suspension. Frankly, this policy needs to be amended at some point anyways, because it refers to a deadline of April 15th. In the county charter, the deadline is actually May 1st. And for the past 2 years, the board has gone past April 15th, closer to May 1st. So that's one thing that's going to need to be changed going forward. However, I mean, this particular change that's on your agenda is just for this year, and county commission will need to weigh in fairly soon, so that all this can occur basically a month late. I mean, that's the projection at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Dupler. Any questions on that policy? Okay. And Mr. Dupler, if I could ask another question, I guess we'll also need to come back and reinstate that policy at a specific time. So perhaps in May, we would need to do that.
No, I mean, this is just a temporary suspension of it, but I would recommend going to the policy review meeting at some point soon and amending the policy to mirror the county charter.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Any questions on grants A or B? Okay. Grants C or D? Okay. Moving to contracts. Do we have any questions on any on contract A? B? C? Okay. And I think everyone is aware that these items were the ones that were really time sensitive that could not be pushed off. There were a few things that may have been pushed to May, but nothing that was time sensitive that would create any kind of issue. So I think that is, anybody have any other questions for this on this agenda? Okay, I think Ms. Coatney, we're ready to vote.
Okay. Item 5, consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
And we have a motion by Ms. Hill, a second by Mr. Norman. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item 6A, approve second reading of Knox County Board of Education Policy J110, equal educational opportunities as amended. Ms.
So
Satter?
moved.
Okay. Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Norman, a second by Ms. Satterfield. Discussion? Okay, and Ms. Coatney, you'll do a roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Satterfield?
Yes.
Ms. Owen?
Yes.
Mr. Norman?
Yes.
Ms. Babb?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Ms. Bounds?
Yes.
Mr. McMillan?
Aye.
Ms. Christie?
Yes.
Ms. Horn?
Yes.
That's 9 yes votes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Item 6B, approve suspending the budget adoption deadline of April 15th within Knox County Board of Education Policy D-110, annual operating budget related to the fiscal year 2021 budget request.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Norman, a second by Ms. Satterfield. Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Coatney?
Ms. Satterfield,
Yes.
Ms. Owen,
Yes.
Mr. Norman,
Yes.
Ms. Babb,
Yes.
Ms. Hill,
Yes.
Ms. Bounds,
Yes.
Mr. McMillan,
Yes.
Ms. Christie,
Yes.
Ms. Horn.
Yes.
That's 9 yes votes.
Motion carries.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why did Evity disappear from the screen? I don't see Evity.
Am
I
I
still
here?
see her.
I lost Evity.
Well, Tony, that's you. I'm still here.
You can't see her?
No, I can see Terry Coatney, and everybody else, but I can't see Evity.
It's probably that feature in the corner. I'm here though, in spirit. I'm always going to be with you.
Gotcha. Same here, Evity. You can go ahead.
Do you have the, are you on gallery view?
Yep,
Are you on an iPad?
on an iPad.
Yeah, you are.
Yep.
I'm on an iPad and I have that limitation too. You can only see 9, but you can flick your finger to the next screen and it will show the other people. Just
Okay.
scan.
It's good. It's good. I was just curious.
I'll send you a picture, Tony. So you can look at it.
Gotcha.
Just needs to scan and he'll find you.
Okay, item 7A, approve memorandum of understanding with the University of Tennessee for the 2020 Shakespeare in Shades program at Vine Magnet Middle School and receipt of grant funding in the amount of $14,531.78 designated for teacher stipends and student bus transportation.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Satterfield. Ms. Babb, did you second it?
I think Ms. Owen.
Owen.
Ms. Owen. Okay, sorry. Ms. Owen. Okay, so a motion by Ms. Satterfield, a second by Ms. Owen. Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Coatney?
Ms. Satterfield,
Yes.
Ms. Owen,
Yes.
Mr. Norman,
Yes.
Ms. Babb,
Yes.
Ms. Hill,
Yes.
Ms. Bounds,
Yes.
Mr. McMillan,
Yes.
Ms. Christie,
Yes.
and Ms. Horn.
Yes.
That's 9 yes votes.
Motion carries.
Item 7B, approve Knox County Health Department Healthy Built Environment Grants in the amount of $4,000 for Dogwood Elementary School, designated for construction of 2 cedar pavilions over existing concrete slab used for ADA accessible outdoor education spaces.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Babb, a second by Mr. McMillan. Discussion? Okay, Ms. Coatney?
Ms. Satterfield,
Yes.
Ms. Owen,
Yes.
Mr. Norman,
Yes.
Ms. Babb,
Yes.
Ms. Hill,
Yes.
Ms. Bounds,
Yes.
Mr. McMillan,
Yes.
Ms. Christie,
Yes.
Ms. Horn.
Yes.
That's 9 yes votes.
Motion carries.
Item 7C, approve Whole Kids Foundation Garden Grant in the amount of $3,000 for Inskip Elementary School, designated to support the school's garden-based education program.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Owen, a second by Ms. Christie. Discussion? Okay, Ms. Coatney?
Ms. Satterfield,
Yes.
Ms. Owen,
Yes.
Mr. Norman,
Yes.
Ms. Babb,
Yes.
Ms. Hill,
Yes.
Ms. Bounds,
Yes.
Mr. McMillan,
Yes.
Ms. Christie,
Yes.
and Ms. Horn.
Yes.
That's 9 yes votes.
Motion carries.
Item 7D, approve New York Life Foundation Grief Sensitive Schools Initiative Grant in the amount of $500 for South Knoxville Elementary School, designated to support for the school becoming a grief sensitive school.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Miss Christie, a second by Miss Satterfield. Any discussion? Okay, Miss Courtney?
Miss Satterfield,
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Owen,
Yes.
Mr. Norman,
Yes.
Miss Bab,
Yes.
Miss Hill,
Yeah.
Miss Bounds,
Yes.
Mr. McMillan,
Yes.
Miss Christie,
Yes.
and Miss Horn.
Yes,
That's 9 yes votes.
motion carries.
Item 8A, approve contract with Porter Roofing Contractors Incorporated for Austin East High School roofing project in the amount of $593,749.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Miss Satterfield. I believe the second was by Miss Owen. Any discussion? Okay, Miss Courtney?
Miss Satterfield,
Yes.
Miss Owen,
Yes.
Mr. Norman,
Yes.
Miss Bab,
Yes.
Miss Hill,
Yes.
Miss Bounds,
Yes.
Mr. McMillan,
Yes.
Miss Christie,
Yes.
Miss Horn.
Yes.
That's 9 yes votes.
Okay, motion carries. We're almost there, people.
8B, approved contract with Studio 4 Design Incorporated for Fair Garden Family Center roofing upgrades in the amount of $20,000.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Miss Satterfield. I know we had a second by Miss Christie, and any discussion? Okay, Miss Courtney?
Miss Satterfield,
Yes.
Miss Owen,
Yes.
Mr. Norman,
Yes.
Miss Bab,
Yes.
Miss Hill,
Yes.
Miss Bounds,
Yes.
Mr. McMillan,
Yes.
Miss Christie,
Yes.
and Miss Horn.
Yes,
That's 9 yes votes.
motion carries.
Item 8C, approved contract with Merritt Construction Incorporated for Powell High School addition and renovation project in the amount of $2,758,552.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Miss Bounds, a second by Miss Owen. Discussion? Okay, Miss Courtney?
Miss Satterfield,
Yes.
Miss Owen,
Yes.
Mr. Norman,
Yes.
Miss Bab,
Yes.
Miss Hill,
Yes.
Miss Bounds,
Yes.
Mr. McMillan,
Yes.
Miss Christie,
Yes.
and Miss Horn.
Yes,
That's 9 yes votes.
motion carries. Thank you, Miss Courtney. I'm glad we don't have to go through that every time. That's a little tedious. Thank you. Okay, let me just find where we are. Sorry. Okay. I think that's actually everything that is on our agenda. So unless anyone has any other comment, any comments? Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Stay safe, everybody. Yes, please do.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.